Hey guys, didn't think I'd see you here. So obviously this happened yesterday around like 10:30ish or whatever. I didn't want to make a video because I was kind of in shock. So I'm a little behind on the content creation here. But huge news. So obviously I'm sure most of you guys know already. They banned Nami Didon Whitebeard and they limited 5-cost Marco. So that's kind of huge. The Dawn, I understand to an extent. She kind of gave Red like one of the best like options in the game for draw. But that's just my opinion. I feel like the Nami ban is kind of weird because it's like it's such a like great staple card for Red, and Red doesn't really actually. If I recall correctly, I don't think they have any kind of draw besides like a Nami, like actual draw. I mean, sure, like Teach can draw. I think there's like there's a film Gordon that bottom decks itself to draw, but like not plus draw. And you know, I feel like that's kind of like a huge hit to the red decks in general. Whitebeard, I mean, I was never really a fan of Whitebeard. I feel like him just getting completely banned is a little insane. I feel like Bandai probably didn't handle this the best way they possibly could, in my opinion. But obviously, I'm not the dev. I'm not the card dev, so I can't really say much on that. But just completely banning the leader is kind of crazy to me because a lot of people invest a lot of time, money into it. It is the purge of red. Marco getting restricted, I don't know. It's a strong card, especially for mid-range, but like I don't think it needed to get restricted. Like yet again another like restriction or ban that like fucks Ace even more. But you know what, people will cook. I have a list. Oh, and I'm a law player too, so like obviously this affects me like heavily too. And the fact that this is going to go into effect before regionals next week on Saturday, also crazy. I also feel like the fact that they restricted us from buying starter deck 10 on top of doing this is also really lame, in my opinion. Because not only did they kind of like, you know, execute red as a color for the remainder of the month until we get set 5, but we don't even get to play with anything new. And that sucks. That sucks a lot. They probably wanted to maybe avoid like, I don't fucking know, like Whitebeard Luffy or some shit. I don't know. I feel like this ban is a little crazy. It's a little dumb. I feel like, and you know, they also said this too about when they restricted like Rad Beam and all that shit in the middle, how they said, oh yeah, these may be removed. Yeah, so when is that ever going to happen? Literally, like, I know we're not supposed to compare regions here, but like in Eastern, set 5, red's hardly a fucking factor in the meta. Like the meta game over there seems to be like purple Luffy, black blue Sakazuki, and yellow Enel. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. And there's other decks that people obviously are gonna play, but like red is even a fucking problem. So like I feel like if once we get to set 5 and they still don't unlift this, then we're gonna have a problem, and they're gonna start, I don't know, I don't know what they're doing. I feel like if any kind of restriction or ban, this is probably the dumbest one. Obviously Moby Dick and Kabaji make sense because yeah, they were insanely, you know, dumb cards, but I don't know. I feel like maybe, I don't know, dude. Like, this is such a huge thing. Honestly, my favorite part about this is all the memes that come along with it. And like, you know, I'm like I said, like I'm a law player. I've been playing law since set 1, and I love the man. I understand that, you know, it's annoying having to fight this set 1 deck for a year now, and no meta changing. We're just fighting the same red decks, like regional after regional, tournament after tournament, day after day. And they just pulled the plug. They literally just pulled the plug on it. And I don't know, maybe it was a bit brash about it, but if anything, I probably would have restricted like the Dawn to maybe 2 or something. Navi's fine in my opinion. Whitebeard, they could have just errated it or just like restricted some of the things. I don't know. They kind of, I feel like this is Bandai's way of trying to fix their fuck up before set 5 or before we get set 5 to where it won't matter anymore. But the fact that they did this right before regionals, like the ban hits the 10th and then regionals hits the 11th, and that shit rolls through. So it's like now we have I'm not too phased about it. I can play something else. I don't really mind. I was getting bored playing the same decks in set 1 any fucking way with like no changes. It was literally just came down to skill at that point. But it's definitely kind of like a scary thing to think that Bandai they're just gonna do this because, you know, NA or Global likes to bitch about decks that they don't know how to necessarily fight all the way necessarily. And that's probably gonna like stir up some fucking drama by me saying that, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like if JP can like work or find a way around beating it, I feel like we should be able to. Like I didn't have a problem with Whitebeard necessarily. It was just finding the right cards for it, and you know, obviously there's probably some people in the comments like, oh well, you played Law, Law's broken. Well. Well, you have to see your cards as Law. Law is not just some deck you can pick up and just win regionals. Like, you actually have to play correctly like the whole time, and like a couple mess ups and you just fucking lose. So like, you just get rolled if you don't know what you're doing. And the curve for the deck is high. But I feel like even for like other people playing like Katakuri or Dofi or something, or Rebecca, like they didn't have problems with Whitebeard. And that could either be a deck thing or just a skill thing. Like, I feel like once you learn how to fight Whitebeard, like, it's just not that big of a deal anymore. It's just, you know, the casual community hasn't caught up to that speed of understanding how to fight against Whitebeard. So because of that, and all the, you know, the memes, the complaints about Whitebeard being broken, I know Eggman was doing like a daily meme thing until he is banned, which I didn't think was actually going to happen. I thought he was just going to keep cooking memes and that was going to be funny, but like he actually got fucking banned, so like, yikes. As of now, I think like the decks that are going to be dominating in my opinion is Katakuri, Green Purple Doflamingo, Croc, and you know, with red being gone, blue Nami might see a very, very scary comeback because red only really had the ability to consistently, like, you know, beat the deck and take it down actually. But now that, you know, red got shafted to Kingdom Come, I feel like yellow is only really the only answer to it. Maybe Green Purple Dofi, but the deck has a really slow startup, and Nami just goes too fast for that, I think. And I mean, obviously I haven't played GP Dofi against Nami, but I've played Law, I've played Ace against Nami, and like, even with those decks that have like high damage output and like burst, it was still close. If the Nami player is good enough, they will make it happen. And you know, that's gonna suck if we have a meta where it's just like you're either fighting Katakuri with a bunch of 10-drop moms being laid down, or you're fighting Nami and you just aren't playing the game. They're playing the game. They're playing solitaire on that ass, and you're about to lose to them. You're about to sit there and watch them deck themselves out and beat you, and there was nothing you can do about it. But you know, obviously, for people who are just initially good at the game and don't really rely too much on the deck, I feel like those people should be fine. Like if you can build if you're a good deck builder, I feel like you're fine. Like you aren't really phased by this. Like That's why I feel like kind of like meh about it, because like even though like my favorite deck got hit, there's like multiple other decks to play that are also good. They were just gate kept by red, literally. And like if you can build a deck like to either counter Katakuri or Croc or anything, then I feel like that should be enough to actually just like, you know, get pretty high or like top or something. But that's just my opinion. Everything's opinionated on the internet. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it. I'm thinking of probably using green purple Dofi or Katakuri. It depends. I have to do, you know, last minute week testing because they decided to do this a week before the event happened. So that was kind of a dick move, but yeah, we just have to make it work somehow. But yeah, those are my thoughts about it. Let me know in the comment section how you guys feel about it. Maybe you guys are practicing Zoro, Law, or Whitebeard for regionals, and now you can't play the deck, so now you gotta like scramble something up, or just like maybe cook yourself. Sometimes when you're down bad, you just sit in the kitchen, you find shit and you just make something. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't, but you won't know unless you give it a little taste. So yeah, get to cooking, guys. You're gonna need it. Or just pick up Katakuri and just hope you win all the mirror matches, because that's probably gonna happen. But yeah, thanks for watching this video. Tune in next time, and I'll catch you later.